Yay. Here we are. This is the fifth year that JSEMP has been offered. And I was taking the time to kind of look back and introspect a little bit on the whole, what my goal is with this program and what it has always been, and how it has unfolded and deepened and more, and just how blessed and honored I feel to get to do this and to have kindred souls, sisters and brothers that yay, that come hang out with me while we have fun doing this work. Like, so thank you so much, all of you. I love you so much. So I wanted to take the time just to start the new year by reminding us of really what the goal is in what I do with you in these calls. And if I make it as simple as a one sentence thing, my goal is for us to develop our energetic discernment in order to deepen our soul embodiment. Like, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. All these meditations, all these energy processes, all the downloads of discernments, all of them serve to develop and fine-tune your energetic discernment, which means your ability to fully inhabit your field, and be aware of what's there. Be aware of, like little energies or structures or things that are kind of like preventing you from fully expanding into your aura, and as well as really understanding the delimitations, the boundaries of the subtle bodies. And the more we're able to feel all that, the more our energetic discernment gets like fine-tuned. And, like the side effects of doing things like that is, your psychic skills get more developed and things like that. But that's not the goal, like, it's like, no, my goal is not like, come into my program and I will make you have psychic powers, like, that's the side effect. Do your best to don't make that the goal. Your goal is to embody your soul. Your goal is to have more and more space in this vessel for your soul to like slide right into, slide into the arms and be able to touch, like allowing your soul to receive this. Or no, let me rephrase that. Allowing your body to fully receive your soul. And the way that happens is by there being less clutter and less noise and less dense energies in our bodies. So that's one sentence. What do we do in this program? We work on developing energetic discernment so that we can deepen our soul embodiment. That's it. That's the goal. And you know what? From there, the more your soul gets anchored deeply into your body and takes over. Remember our last call of the year, I was talking about letting the light fully invade you. It's kind of this is the idea, is your soul knows exactly what it wants to do here, or longs to do, I should say. Want is a little bit more the ego. It knows. It came with a program. It knows what healing, what it wants to work on healing in the fabric of humanity, in the fabric of, there's like core soul wounds and there's also core wounds of humanity. And our souls come in here in order to be able to work on these energies. That's their goal. That's what they want the most. If you can imagine your soul as this like deeply sensitive being, and it can hear the suffering. It can hear it, and it wants to come here, and it wants to be in service to the healing and to the awakening, to the ascension process. I still can't imagine doing anything else in my life that would bring me more joy and fulfillment than this. Next thing I want to say is the way I go about this, which you all kind of know already, but the way I go about this is I start with some kind of talk, presentation of knowledge, of information, and that is the cognitive understanding. It's like bringing in some cognitive understanding. So the brain's kind of like, yum, yum, yum. It's got a little bit of food to chew on, that's not shitty McDonald's, like good, organic, yummy lettuce kind of thing. Like, and from that cognitive understanding, which is, it's really important. It's very important to allow your mind to participate to this process, old school meditation was always about like just sit and try to think about nothing, and then you spend maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years going crazy trying to meditate and always having and eventually you get better and better and better at, oh, there's a dog that just walked by. You get better and better and better at like kind of catching the thought and creating that space between you and the thought is a cloud, and let the cloud go by and blah blah blah. But that's not the way of that's not the way now. That's not the way now. There has been an evolution of meditation because we have evolved a lot in the last 4 or 5,000 years. There's a lot more energy available. It goes a lot faster. And to allow everything to come together and work together speeds up the process enormously, but also takes away some of the resistance that is related to parts of you feeling like they're getting pushed aside, like a little kid that bothers you, like just F off and go over there while I do this. Yeah, do you know what? I think we all know what that does. The kid will not stop bugging you, So instead of doing that, we bring it all in. We bring it all into the process. So that first part of the calls is always about a cognitive understanding, and then followed by an energetic experience, right? And a direct experience of feeling the energy, feeling the body, feeling the flows, feeling the feeling, right? So like cognitive understanding, let's download a thinking part, and then okay, you've got your food, yummy, hang out with us, let's go feel stuff. So that's always been the structure, the cognitive understanding followed by the energetic experience, and then have fun sharing a little bit what we went through, which allows for an integration. It allows for an integration. It's like we come back to the mind in a certain way and we talk about our experience, and we all get to kind of like learn a little bit from what we like, oh, interesting what she said, and so please remember that in life, like sometimes we end up in this place where we're like I just want the experience. I just want the subjective experience, and it's important to offer to the parts of you that need a more objective kind of like structure and understanding to receive what they need as well. And like someone like David Hawkins talks about that a lot when he starts explaining to you levels of consciousness that are so far, that have been experienced by like 0.1% of humans throughout history, like full on enlightenment. And he takes the time to explain what happens when you're going towards there. What kind of fears do you need to face? What's the experience? And it's excellent because what he's doing, and he explains it as such, is for you to receive the information before you arrive in that experience will make that experience a lot easier to go through. Like if you kind of know, like, okay, so when you're about to have that ego death, like you're gonna like shake and you're gonna this and you're gonna think you're dying and you're like, oh, okay. So then when it actually happens, you're like, okay, I know what okay, I understand what's going on right now. Instead of like, and then the problem with not having the information in advance and just trying to figure it out as you go through it is that most of the time that creates the 1 step forward, 2 steps back, right? Because we get fucking freaked out by what happens. We get freaked out by it. So that's that's kind of always the goal of the playing around with the cognitive downloads. And what else do I want to say before I talk about the, let's see. I also wanted to mention, so we're starting year 5. If I look back on the process of the last 5 years, the teaching is deepening and deepening and deepening. And I don't mean like I have decided I will make the teaching get deeper and deeper. Of course not. I'm receiving the deepening of the teaching, you know, like where I was 5 years ago when I started the program, and each month was a standalone theme, you know. So one month was like past life stuff, another month ancestral stuff, another month divine will alignment, another month, you know, the 5 core wounds. Like everything kind of like was pieced in pieces, let's say. And then after about 10, that lasted for about a year and a half. And then all of a sudden it came in the energy of like, okay, the teaching needs to be, it needs to have a structure that's more like long-term. So then that ended up being a 5-month stretch around ascension particles. And then that led to a 5-month stretch around back to the energy body basics and just really going through a deep understanding of each of the 7 chakras and the reality that they represent. And then that led to me talking about the 4 levels of being and the core star and the hairline and all that. And then that led to 3 months fully devoted only to the core star, which is like, there's such beautiful, oh, such yummy stuff in there. And then from there, it was like, whoa, okay, we've got all this, and then the following year became a year-long program. Like, you know, like it was like 5 months, 3 months, and then it was like, boom, 1 year. And then we did Healing the Split. And that was a wonderful, wonderful program of understanding the layers of the brain, understanding what the wounds are, how we build our defense structures, the whole genesis of how it builds, how we go about coming back into the core. Beautiful, beautiful teachings all that year. And then at the end of that year, it was like, okay, we've kind of like, we've worked on that split. The split is reunited enough that then it became, okay, now we really, really need to work on activating our pillars of light more. Now that we're not separated, you know, like, so last year was all about that. It was all about activating the pillar of light and understanding, you know, like bringing more and more space into our body by understanding the movement of energy, you know, the descending energy, the ascending energy, the energy going like the right and left sides, the front and the back, and from the core towards the boundary and the boundary towards the core. And the whole goal of that was to create energetic discernment once again, right? Developing a deeper and deeper energetic discernment so that we can be in all of our field. So that was really cool. And what I want to do this year is I want us to work on deepening our experience of peace within our pillars. When I say peace, I don't mean peace, everything's fine. Peace means everything in you has been loved and accepted and brought back to center. Peace means there is no more conflict anywhere within you. So that's, okay, that sounds huge, but we're going to have fun doing it because we are assisted by energies that are all about that happening anyway. So we're just riding the wave, you know. We're just using, you know, we're just using the wave and accepting to be on it and fully participate to it. So in November, I had that little talk where I was talking about the pedestal of pain and the pillar of peace, right? So that the concept of these two, which is, if someone's watching this on YouTube and you don't know what I'm talking about, that call is somewhere on there. Like it talks about the pedestal of pain and the pillar of peace. Our goal this year is our transition, that transitioning from the pedestal of pain to truly standing within our pillar of peace. So just little reminder, that pedestal of pain is like a little, for me, it's like a little wood structure, and our ego is standing on top of it. And under the pedestal is all the parts and all the energies that we fear, that we're in conflict with, that we've rejected, that we don't want to talk with, that we don't want to deal with, blah, blah. It's all like the shadow parts are all under the pedestal, and they're all kind of like, hey, I'm banging to be like, love me, see me. And our ego, like our little fragile, reactive ego, is standing on top of its pedestal. And it's a pedestal of pain because it needs from the outer world. Your ego has no idea how to feed itself without using the energy of other people. That's the nature of ego. It's looking outwards. And it either plays its game of pity, look at me, I suffer more than everyone else, give me your energy, pour me, or praise, look at me, I'm so much better than you, look at everything I've done. Either way, at the end of the day, the reality is, if anybody, including the shadow parts or any other ego, walks by and kicks that pedestal, the ego's like, it collapses and whatever, freaks out. It does whatever your version of your ego does. Whereas a pillar of peace, it's a pillar. You can't topple down a pillar. You coming back deep into the beingness that you are, loving all parts, allowing them all to know that they are safe with you. The goal is to create an inner peace that is so solid, that is so embodied. It doesn't even, whatever the word, that nothing on the outside can topple you down anymore. Someone's comment, something that happens in the world, Ascension is kicking in. There's going to be a bunch of weird shit going on in the world. There's going to be a bunch of stuff you could look at and freak out about. Yes. And if you are really centered and grounded in your own pillar of peace, you can actually be what helps to stabilize. You can be a pillar of peace that allows other people to have an embodied experience of seeing like, oh, okay, maybe I don't need to be completely freaking out. Like, it doesn't mean that they're gonna be your friends or whatever, because like how can I say this? People's egoic structure will always react to when you are embodying more and more of your soul, just because they are on a pedestal of pain. And it hurts. When you are on a pedestal of pain, it hurts you to see someone that has long transcended the need to be on any pedestal whatsoever. That deep, kind of super humble place of, like, just, I want to say Christ energy. Like, it's just like that the peace, that emanation of peace where, yeah. I'm gonna run out of words sometimes when I'm talking this year, I think, because it's like it gets so big that it's just like I'm trying to like put infinity into a box, and it's like sometimes it's just ridiculous. So yeah. So the thing with this pillar of peace is we're going to, part of how we're going to work on that this year is going to be with the concept. That's not a concept, sorry. We're going to be working with the refining and bringing back up the central line, back up the golden spine. What's been called the Christ oil, or the sacred secretion, which is just this deep understanding that, this is like biological and spiritual at the same time. You have a secretion of liquid that comes from the pineal gland, goes through the liquid, cerebral something liquid, and it goes down, and then it kind of like it goes into the root chakra, and then it starts coming back up. And as it comes back up and it hits the solar plexus, it is either going to be wasted there by, whatever, low frequency stuff, or we consciously decide to cultivate that energy. And what the goal of that is refining. We are refining the energies of the three lower centers and bringing that Christ oil. I love that name. There's bringing that back up through through the divine chakras, through the heart, and then if we can go further, through the throat, up back into the third eye, up back into the center of the brain, where there's so much yummy stuff in here. The milk and honey, like your pituitary gland secretes a white liquid and your pineal gland secretes a golden kind of oil liquid. And the goal is to bring these back together, to bring the feminine, the divine feminine and divine masculine energies back together, circulating through you so that you are an embodiment of soul energy, so that your spirit can flow in, can go deep into the earth, and spiritualize matter. That's it. That's the goal. To spiritualize matter, to help matter become more and more refined, more and more able to understand the. It's like I see Imogen bubbles and stuff, and I'm like, how do I translate that exactly? Like, bringing that so that we can be these pillars of peace. And alongside of peace is love and joy. They all go together. Course in Miracles, I love the way they talk about it. They say, there is a peace, a love, and a joy within you that have no opposite. They have no opposite. This is not the love, hate, joy, sadness. It's like, no, 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 no. These are states of being. They are not effects. They are states of being. And that's what we're going for. Our goal is to get to the place where we're able to refine the lower energies, refine them and transmute there's like a negative spectrum of emotional energy, transmute it into finer and finer and finer and more subtle energy that allows you to finally embody that state. That state, like I'm telling you right now, you kick into embodying that state, that's a permanent thing. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe on earth because everything's like moving all the time. When you are no longer standing on a pedestal of pain, where everything's shifting all the time and you never know who's going to say what to you when you're on your pedestal, to being a pillar of peace, that is an embodied state of Christ consciousness, of Buddha consciousness, of Hermes consciousness, like of deep alchemy and, detachment and forgiveness energy that pulled all together create the state where you are untouchable. It's so funny. The ego's like, oh, untouchable. But it's like, you are untouchable because there is nothing to touch you. You have re-become. It's like, what a concept. You have re-become the soul and the spirit and the God energy all as one. So there's no more idea of something outside of you touching you, Got like that. That's what we're going to play with this year. A deeper and deeper and deeper embodiment of soul energy, and that pillar, making it one of deep inner peace and the ability to almost enjoy watching stuff going around and just being able to love it and sending a little it's just blessing things, to just bless things as they are, understanding that everyone's on their own journey of their pedestal of pain to their pillar of peace, right? Like, so, oh my God, what else do I want to say? I guess the one little one other little thing I want to say before we go into a nice, beautiful, deep meditation into that pillar is as you come on calls like this or you listen to videos like this on YouTube because you are on a spiritual journey. You're looking, you're seeking, you're looking. So on that journey, on that spiritual journey of seeking, of being, on the spiritual path, let's say, there's traps. And there's three of them specifically that I want to mention right now, which are they're all traps of identification. And who says identification says ego? Because your soul is not working like that. So you can either become identified with the structure, in other words, with the teaching. You can become identified with the magnetic energy of the teacher, or you can become attached to the path. So what that ends up looking like is if the attachment that you got stuck in is the one of the structure, then you're working with one structure and you can't do anything else. So you're only Christian, or you're only a Buddhist, or you're only, you know what I mean? Like you're looking at it from a system and you can't work outside of it. Like sometimes I notice with certain people, like it's like they're so enmeshed in the Christian teaching that anything else that's ever been said before that somehow is a bit demonic, and you're kind of like, whoa, okay, whoa. Like there's deep truth in the teachings of Hermes and old alchemy and high magic, like that's not demonic shit, like, and there's deep teachings in the Buddhist traditions. So that's the first form of attachment, the first form of trap. I want you to remain aware of that, because like I want you to notice too, I do everything I can in this program to make sure that we're not doing that. Like, I am not sitting here telling you, follow my system, it's the only one that works. I'm like presenting to you a whole bunch of stuff from a whole bunch of places all the time. It's like, stay curious, have fun exploring how it makes you feel, and what makes you feel good, keep it. What doesn't, toss it out. It's all good, So that's the attachment to the structure, the attachment to the teaching. So notice if anywhere in your life you kind of you get stuck in a teaching like that, just become aware of it and like detach a little bit. Like, whoa. The other form is the attachment to the teacher. And that's the attachment to the magnetic pull of the guru. Like the magnetic pull of the teacher. So don't do that. Don't do that. That's why I put a couple of swears on there once in a while, and I goof off a bit, and it's like, whoa. I'm just an Aquarius girl having fun sharing some knowledge. And the attachment to the path, what that ends up looking like is it's kind of people that are kind of doing the how do I want to say this? It's like they're just compulsively trying everything. 1 week they're into Reiki, the next week they're into something else, the next week they're into something else. So they've become attached to the path. So on the path, there's all these things I can do. Oh my God, I can do this, I can do that. And they've got squirrel syndrome, right? They're like, oh, what about that one? Oh my God, I gotta go do this one now. Oh, what about that one? And then they don't ever do it deep enough to get all the way to the core of whatever teaching they're following. So just be aware of that and watch out for these traps, because I will talk this year a lot about the three great figures, like I won't talk about the figures themselves, but I mean the teachings of alchemy, which are represented by Hermes, the teachings of detachment, which are represented by Buddha, and the teachings of atonement, which are represented by Christ energy. And these three things together, I don't know, I want to say hello or hallelujah, I'm not even sure. Something must have come out of my mouth like, oh my God, and enveloping all that, this like kind of like this triptych of content teachings into the divine feminine container that holds them all and transmutes oh my God. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to work a little bit on playing around with this. Okay. Just want to see if there's anything else. There's so much I want to say, but this is call one of the year. I have the entire year to unfold, so I gotta remind myself of that and invite you to just, yeah, take a moment to absorb and just kind of integrate a little bit of what I just said. And I'm gonna draw guide us into a meditation just to kind of re-solidify some of what we did at the last call in December when I added a fifth movement to the energies, the up and down, if you remember, the swirling electromagnetic energy. And yeah, and deep, deep love and gratitude. Thank you so much for being here and doing the great work. It's the most important thing you can do at this time. The great work of our times. It was called like that thousands of years ago. And Gurdjieff is the one that, kind of re-mentioned it in the 19th century. But the great work of our times is this. It is the awakening. It is the awakening deep within us, ourselves. So we develop the energetic discernment to deepen our soul embodiment. So to those in the program, get comfy, and we'll start the meditation in a couple of seconds. To you watching this on YouTube, there's an application form if you want to join us, and just thank you for listening to the teaching part.